Hey idiot! Do you like spending money? Do you like wearing bollocks across your chest? Do you like complaining about exorbitant international shipping prices that we wish we could reduce but currently have no control over? Then get your soft little hiney over to the Jimporium, where you can buy shit and tat from us. Shirts and badges and hats and, you know, bollocks like that. Go over there and have a look after you watch the video, please.
There is a YouTube convention, my friend, and now is your chance.
Ooh, who's there exactly?
The vice journalists.
Great.
Betty Jack.
Awesome, perfect.
Foogie.
He's quite likeable.
Tim Sterling.
Fucking prick. Die, you fuckers!
Well, that was normal. That was Ricky the Dicky LaRuiner there, with some footage from his actual video game. Very, very normal behaviour indeed. Let's get on with the show. Oh, Ubisoft. You can always tell when Ubisoft are about to release a game because you see folk in game stores with massive fucking spreadsheets unravelled like long scrolls, trying to work out which of the half-dozen special editions to get and what content is part of which pre-order bonus. Just joking, of course, nobody goes to game stores anymore. As video games become increasingly segmented and paywalled, we're needing FAQs and walkthroughs just to purchase the damn things, and no company is more in love with confusing their customers into questionable purchasing decisions than Ubisoft. Ubisoft, of course, legendarily required its audience to use this cheat sheet in order to fathom the overbearing wall of bonus content attached to Watch Dogs. Ubisoft is the company that has not one, not two, not three or four or five, but 6 special editions of Assassin's Creed Odyssey on the horizon, including an Ultimate Edition that's outclassed by 2 seemingly ultimater editions of the game, proving Ubisoft understands the word ultimate almost as much as it understands the word iconic, i.e. not bloody at all. It should be no surprise then that The Division 2 will feature a division of content as per Ubisoft tradition, because we're expected to believe that a healthy industry is one where its leading companies can't simply make products and then make money selling those products. Very much like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, The Division 2 will feature not 1, not 2, not 3 or 4 or 5, but 6 different versions to choose from, flagrantly showcasing the sheer excess and deliberately overwhelming nature of modern video game purchases. Starting with the $60 starter edition, because $60 is only a starter price these days, and running up to the ludicrous $250 Phoenix Shield Collector's Edition, The Division 2 carries on the proud tradition of Ubisoft confusing the audience with over-the-top, downright decadent collector's versions. Here's another cheat sheet that The Division 2 customers are going to have to use in order to work out what edition comes with what shit. You've got your standard edition, you got your gold edition, you got your gold steelbook edition, you got your Ultimate Edition, you got your Dark Zone Definitive Edition, and you got your Phoenix Shield Edition. And stop misusing the word Ultimate! Ubisoft, being in the middle is not what Ultimate means! On that note, the Definitive Edition being the penultimate edition isn't what fucking definitive means either. But, at least any actual expansion for The Division 2 is completely free, right? This is what Ubisoft proudly revealed in the run-up to The Division 2, that they wouldn't split the community apart by gating actual substantive updates to The Division 2's world behind its paywall and season pass bollocks. This is something Electronic Arts also promised with Star Wars Battlefront 2 and Titanfall 2, and seems to be an increasing carrot on the end of the live services stick, as AAA publishers try to entice players into keeping their game around for as long as possible, or at least until the inevitable sequel that comes out way too soon for any of these live services to actually feel like services instead of regular video games just with more DLC and microtransactions. Well, there's an issue when you promise all your major updates will be free, and that's the fact AAA publishers must still make all the money in the world, as much money as humanly conceivable, to serve their real customers, the shareholders. So when they promise freebies, expect some sort of catch or small print. Major game publishers don't just give shit away, as we saw with Star Wars Battlefront 2. Sure, the maps came at no extra charge, but that didn't stop them hacking the game to pieces with loot boxes that offered pay-to-win advantages for those who bought into the microtransactions. Cue a major fan uproar and EA having to grovel and beg for its 50th chance with an increasingly battered Star Wars license. So what's the catch with The Division 2? Well, fans raked over the aforementioned small print and discovered that within all these additions and season pass offerings, the DLC expansions do have a paid element, since if you buy their year one pass, you'll access them early, or at least you'll access parts of them early. Since Ubisoft's launch offerings for its games are now a garbled hot fucking mess, it's a bit unclear exactly what's on offer. But either way, if you stump up $100 plus for a version of the game with its season pass attached, you'll gain access to future updates a week before anybody else. This is not the first time Ubisoft has done this, but it has fans concerned regardless. Ubisoft has had to run damage control on this already because the best kinds of deals are the deals where a company has to assure its customers that the deal won't fuck them. Sign of a great company that's built a lot of trust right there. With a competitive game element, a week of early access is a long time for players to get hands-on experience and bonuses before anyone else, essentially paying to get a multiplayer head start. It's what allowed fighting games to coerce a bunch of customers into stumping up more green by tying characters to season passes. And here's a shout out to those so Stockholmed by Capcom and Namco Bandai they rush to their defense with drooling loyalty when I point out it's sleazy. Hi gang! Ubisoft has told folks that the competitive aspects of The Division 2, since it features a PvP element, won't be impacted by the early access, claiming it'll push players toward the story portions of the game. Though of course they're being a bit vague and sketchy about whether or not early accessors will still gain some multiplayer advantage. They absolutely didn't deny competitive content wouldn't be given out to those who pay more, only some of it. When it comes to everything that is competitive, items, PvP, these are things we're going to be looking at very carefully in terms of what is available during the early access. The game's new 8-player raids would not be part of the early access at all. The old "we're looking at this carefully" stock phrase is usually code for "we're going to be non-committal and hope you forget all about it," aka the Sony approach. Publishers want kudos and gratitude and good press for offering free updates and maps, but they still want all the money in the world, so they've worked out a way to have their cake and fuck it too. Overwatch, for example, offered gambling in the form of cosmetic loot boxes, but if you think Activision Blizzard actually gives a fuck about splitting up its communities, look no further than Call of Duty with its microtransactions and gambling and paid DLC maps. One of the scummiest dick moves was Capcom, who of course claimed all Street Fighter V characters could be earned in-game with virtual fight money, but made said fight money so fucking difficult and boring to obtain and offered so many free-to-play-esque purchase options that players were exasperated and pressured into spending real money anyway. Like with EA and its free updates, there's always a price somewhere. If not tied to the content directly, then in the form of huge compromises to the game as a whole and said game's integrity. On top of that, however, is one of the most pathetic grabs for money out there, The Division 2's item stash. Being a very loot-heavy game, storage space is prime real estate, and where there's prime real estate, there's a premium price that can be tacked on. The original Division had to expand its item stash for players after launch due to massive fan demand, and that fan demand has clued Ubisoft in to what it can charge for. Folks needed more space to hold all their required gear, so now they're expected to pay for the most space possible. Considering how fucking annoying it is to deal with a limited inventory space in a game, this is pure and utter horse shit. You'll need to spend at least $120 on The Division 2 to get its Elite Agent pack at launch if you want to have the lowest chance of constantly filling up your inventory with loot. Responding to the fan outcry at news of this paid advantage, Ubisoft has been unable to tell us exactly how expanded this expanded stash will be. That's because they're still balancing it and working out how to make it. So they're offering something for purchase, something you can pre-order right fucking now, but they don't even know what it is yet. You're pre-ordering something vague and as of right now undefinable. Video games, folks, fucking video games. And of course, Ubisoft is trotting out one of the AAA game industry's favourite fucking excuses, the old "it's optional" justification that they try to pull whenever they're attempting to con you. Where we wanted to reassure you is the fact that we want to have enough stash size for everybody so that you don't need to buy that Elite Agent pack to be able to store all your items. This one is just a bonus for the people who really want to hoard and collect everything, but the comfortable basis for us is going to be what is available to everyone. We are not looking at diminishing the amount of stash size available just to push people into buying that pack. That last bit was the sound of caterpillars and cockroaches pouring out of the Ubisoft spokesperson's mouth, because that's what happens when they speak. I've seen it and the insects looked at me. Let me make it clear once more what I've made clear in the past whenever publishers trot out the "it's optional" excuse. No company offers you something to buy and then doesn't want you to buy it. But as to whether or not the stash sizes will be deliberately hamstrung or not, we simply can't tell. We will probably never be able to tell. As with the updates, Ubisoft cannot right now say what sizes any of the loot stashes will be because they literally don't know yet. They're still balancing it. Once again, you can pre-order something right now with absolutely no clue what advantage, if any, you'll be getting. I'll say this though, if the inventory stash really isn't necessary, then what exactly are you buying? Snake oil from the fucking sounds of it. Useless, junky snake oil. Game publishers aren't in the business of doing favours for anybody but their shareholders, and The Division 2 is yet more proof of this. They claim to offer updates for free, but still need to grasp and claw for as much cash as they can, which only leads to them being ever more vague, ever more intangible, ever more fucking sneaky with the ways in which they try to manipulate you for money. AAA games may offer you freebies, but remember that with these fucking publishers, free always comes with a price.
Tim Sterling.
Fucking prick.
I've come to accept that season passes and digital deluxe editions are facts of life now. They're part of the game industry, and it's how publishers have made up for games costing $60 without raising their prices over the years. $60 is a starter price, and the real price for the full game comes in the form of what you pay for season passes and your deluxe editions. Okay, fine. Why do we need fucking spreadsheets for these things? Why does it have to be so convoluted and overly complex? That is just indicative of the problems I've had with the AAA game industry for years. They just can't stop. They reach a point where it's like, okay, fair enough, you gotta make your money, you've made your money, and then they just go fucking overboard. I recently just opened a storefront called the Jimquisition. I don't know if you've heard about it, and here, right, get this right. If you buy the thing that you want to buy, you get the thing that you want to buy, and it's very clearly sort of noted what it is you're getting. You just spend the money and you just get it. And we got pre-orders because we need them to stock the store, the initial run, and that's very clearly defined. And if you order within a base period, you even get a pre-order bonus. We're even doing that simply because we feel like we should give someone a little nice bonus if they want to, like, basically seed the store early so that we can keep it going. And we explain it quite clearly to our customers, and the customers can just buy the thing. You don't need a fucking graph. You don't need fucking boxes with half a dozen bloody editions trying to work out what's in what. It's just excessive. And that's the fucking problem with the AAA game industry, and Ubisoft in particular. It can't just fucking do the thing. It can't just sell a product. Make a product, sell a product. Make a product, sell a product. It should be that fucking simple. And if it isn't that simple, if this is what's needed, if you need bloody charts and cheat sheets to work out where to order from where, what to order from what, I mean, I should have said what and where in each. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If you need to do what Ubisoft is doing, the industry is fucked. The industry is fucked, mate. Fucked. Fucked. YouTube's definitely going to bury this one now, so I might as well lean into it. Fuck, fuckity, fuck, fuck, fuck. Thank God for me.
Everybody's thinking about me.
Tim Sterling.
Fucking prick.